Hey guys, this is Chris Brigandi from Brigandi Coins and Collectibles here in New York City. Today we're getting very, very political. Everybody's favorite topic. Just kidding. We're going to talk about some presidential autographs. Collecting presidents has always been really popular, and collecting baseballs and baseball autographs has always been very popular. So this is a kind of a rare area where they overlap and combine. People collect presidential signatures on baseballs, and they're called single-sign baseballs. So we have a few items here, starting over here, the Gerald Ford single-sign baseball, Jimmy Carter single-sign baseball, Ronald Reagan. This is a Ronald Reagan flat on a presidential ticket. This is a Bill Clinton signed letter on White House stationery. Here we have a George Bush signed baseball, H.W. Bush. And then, of course, Barack Obama in the photo. Signed photos, very collectible too. But today we're really going to focus on baseballs. So it's kind of interesting how this came about. And I guess we don't really know for certain how this started, but it probably has something to do with the ceremonial first pitch that the presidents throw out in the first game of every year. It was usually in Washington for the Senators, or in Baltimore for the Orioles, or Philadelphia for the Athletics. And it started with William Howard Taft in 1910. He's the first pitcher on record to throw out the ceremonial first pitch. And every president since then has thrown at least one, and in many cases, several ceremonial first pitches. Autographs on signed baseballs, I've never seen anything really earlier than the 1900s. I haven't seen a Teddy Roosevelt. The earliest ones I've seen are, I think it's Harding, maybe Woodrow Wilson, Coolidge, Hoover. Of course, there's FDR on a ball. That's a very valuable ball. That's about $50,000. Eisenhower, JFK, all the more popular presidents are going to be obviously more expensive and more rare. Those are all like $50,000 plus, those type of baseballs. But if you find Abraham Lincoln on a baseball, call me, let me know. Just kidding. Or if you find a George Washington signed cell phone, yeah, give me a call on that too. But just kidding. Going back to, I want to feature the Ronald Reagan baseball today. This is very rare. Again, the more popular presidents, no matter how you fall on the spectrum, what side of the aisle, Republican, Democrat, the more popular presidents are always collected by both people, people on both sides of the parties. So this is Ronald Reagan. He was the first president to serve back-to-back terms since Eisenhower, I believe. So he was, very popular at the time, still very popular today, and had a very high approval rating. The highest since, let's say, Bill Clinton actually had a very similar approval rating leaving office. Anyway, he signed here in a blue ballpoint pen. It's a nice dark signature, as you can see, right on the sweet spot. A collector's favorite, always on the sweet spot. The baseball here, I'm going to spin it around here for you. We got a William White official baseball. Dates to 1991 to 1992. That's when these were manufactured. Reagan, again, 1981 to 89 presidency. So yes, this was signed a couple years after his presidency. Ideally, in a perfect world, we would love to have this signed on a ball from and during his presidency. Nonetheless, the condition of this item is spectacular. You always look for a clean white baseball and obviously a very dark signature. This is JSA PSA certified. It's graded, I believe, 8 or 8.5. Very high grade, very rare to get something that high. Ballpark value on something like this, 10 to 15 grand retail, easy. He's a very, very popular president again. But the more recent presidents especially, so Reagan died in 2004, I believe, but he basically didn't sign anything after the 90s because he was sick by then. But the more popular presidents, especially if they're living today, they sign a lot more. So your Bill Clinton, your George Bush, both of them, HW and W, you'll find a lot more supply out there than Reagan. And then Barack Obama, so right now he's a little tough to find, but I mean, he's out there. But usually what happens is the more time they're retired, as more time goes on, the more speaking engagements they have, the more book signings they have, the more they're out in the public, the more they're going to sign. So somebody like even Jimmy Carter, he was a president from before Reagan, but his autograph, he's written so many books, he's out in the public eye, he's always doing stuff on with the public. Very, very common signature and not too expensive. But your Bushes, your Clintons, even your Barack Obamas are going to be a little cheaper than your Reagan. So every president since Howard Taft has thrown out a ceremonial first pitch from 1910 on, but except for our current president, Donald Trump. But again, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, maybe you're Democrat, you're not going to buy it now, or maybe ever, but people do collect them on both sides of the aisle. It's, if you want to put the presidential set together, you're going to need them, obviously. So his ball right now is at least a few $1,000s. But usually, like I said, once they go into retirement after the presidency and they come out in the public eye more, you're going to get a lot more autographs from these guys. So we were featuring a Ronald Reagan ball again. That's my favorite piece here. Again, it's really high grade, really rare. But we always have, presidential autographs like this in stock. We try to get the more vintage stuff. So yeah, we're always going to have a Gerald Ford, a Jimmy Carter, the Bushes, the Clintons, Barack Obamas. But if you're getting something from Kennedy, Eisenhower, FDR, those are really, really special items. Again, 50,000 plus, easy. But again, stay away from your Abraham Lincoln signed baseballs, your George Washington signed baseballs, obviously. But thanks for joining me. If you have any questions about any of the items you saw here, please send me an email, chris@brigandycoin.com, or just comment below, like and share the videos, and we'll see you next time on Brigandy TV.